Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamours on Deletion. What's going on, Deletion? Yeah, it feels like it's been a while since we did our last recap, but I guess because we had a few pay-per-views back-to-back or whatever it was, maybe. I don't know what it was. WrestleMania Backlash was so soon after WrestleMania, maybe that's what it was. And then we just seen each other too in person, so so I feel like I don't know, like maybe we missed a week of recaps, but we didn't. Like we're on pace with all the pay-per-views so far. So if you could even call it that when we get to talk about how we feel about the pay-per-view. But welcome, Entertain. Thank you for joining us this evening. And today we'll be talking about Hell in a Cell, or could they just shorten it to the title Hell? Maybe. That's how we feel about the pay-per-view. I saw Deletion tweeting I saw Big Time tweeting, and Deletion responding to those tweets, much of what she was texting me throughout the night as well. But Deletion, your quick thoughts on it before we jump right into it. Which is a shame, right? Because like we were really looking forward to Hell in a Cell because we like Hell in a Cell. Like it's one of those entertaining pay-per-views, and unfortunately, it didn't really live up to its hype that we thought it would live up to. But without further ado, let's get to the pre-show match, which featured Natalya, which is one half of the women's tag team champions, against Mandy Rose.
Are technically strong. Although, if we're trying to put Mandy and Dana kind of in that title contention, I'm not sure why they would have her lose, or they could have had her like win, even if by nefarious means. But I mean, all in all, it was pretty well done, given. But I just don't like producing wise or story wise. I'm not exactly sure why they would have her lose. But also, it was the pre-show.
Alright, so apparently we're having some technical difficulties, and I would have to restart my system to fix it. So instead, I'm going to just take off my headset whenever Deletion talks and put it on my mic so you guys can hear what she's saying. For some reason, it's not playing her audio through the... it's not capturing her audio on the desktop. I hope you guys heard the theme song. If you didn't, you guys know what it is already. But for some reason, I just tested it before. Like we went live and it was working fine. So this always happens. Like for some reason with OBS, ever since the new update, it cuts out the desktop audio. So I always have to restart my streams for some stupid reason. So I think from now on, I'll just start restarting my PC prior to the stream. But yeah. So basically, the only part you missed her was that she said that they're gonna make like Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose to be at the new Blonde Mean Girls, and they interrupted a training session, and that's what led to the match. And she talked about the match, and I think that's what the part you got. Oh, no theme. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, unfortunately for some reason the desktop audio is not being picked up for some reason. I have no idea why. Why OBS happens to like cut out like that. It's kind of weird though. Like I don't know why I would do that. Deletion, you want to say something real quick? I just want to see if it picks it up now. Can you hear her now? I see the equalizer jumping. Can you guys hear her now without me moving my mic? I think yeah. I see the equalizers moving, so I think it is capturing your audio now. I believe. I just don't know why that happens sometimes. It changes. You still don't hear her? That's weird because it's capturing the audio now. Like, it's popping on the equalizer. If it doesn't, then I'll have to switch through. I mean, I can just sort of play it back on my thing, too. No, it's still not picking you up, which is so weird. All right, well, I don't know why that's not working. I'll like to try one more thing. I mean, the only other thing I can do is restart it, but like I don't mind just taking off my headset. Like all our things are going to be rather short today because we talked about how we didn't really enjoy the pay-per-view that much. So, I just don't know why. Try this. All right, try talking again. No. Seeing that now, it's not picking it up, so let me go ahead and go back to what I had it originally, which is that. Alright, try it again. She's alright. Like, I don't mind Mandy Rose that much, I just don't know why this happens like this. Alright, can you talk again? I'm glad that they're tag team champions because I believe that they deserve it for a long time, but I don't know how long their reign should be because I feel there's other women that could be bolstered like Mandy Rose and Dana. All right, well, if you can't hear anything, let me know what I'm going to go to the next match, and I'll move my speakers to the mic so you can hear her that way, and let me know if you can hear her that way. The next match was for the SmackDown Women's Championship, featuring the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair against Bayley in a Hell in a Cell match. So here it goes.
Oh, this is probably the first match that was probably the first. Well, it was first match, but that was really intriguing to me. Because I don't know if I told Cal, but I was talking to somebody. I don't believe this match needed to be Hell in a Cell. But we did get Bayley starting off trying to play mind games with Bianca, as she's been doing throughout the last couple of weeks, by bringing in a chair, and I think Bianca also grabbed her, but she wound up like kicking it out of the ring, and so Bianca, really enough, was like slapping the chair like with her braid as if that was going to deflect the chair, but it's still a steel chair that will still pulverize her if Bayley had actually swung at her with it. But you would kind of get a lot of back and forth between the two, a lot of innovative play with the weapons coming from the chair, to where also Bayley had tried to wrap Bianca's, well, she not tried, she would wrap Bianca's hair around the rope, which I think I was talking to Joe that I only think this has only happened before down in NXT. So I'm not exactly sure why people haven't thought to do this before. But Bianca, being the smart athlete that she is, she would use it as a tripping rope to trip Bayley as she tried to go on an offensive attack, landing her onto the steel chairs. You would also see a lot of interplay with the kendo sticks, or a double wrapped kendo stick, which I don't know if that's actually formal name for it. Bayley would use that to take these swings against Bianca, again targeting her midsection and arms as well, or hands. But again, Bianca would get the upper hand again by slamming her against the Hell in a Cell cages. As you know, we get in every cell match, someone has to go up against the cage. It's just canon now. It has to happen every single time. There was to where Bianca was. The bees are messing me up. Bianca would start another series of attacks to a point where Bayley was begging the ref to let her out of the ring, which I don't think we had seen before. For someone literally begging the ref to open the door to let them out. But that would not happen. We also saw another weapon of one of the smaller ladders being brought from out of the ring, to which excuse me. To which Bayley would use to put Bianca through the middle of the ladder and like slam it. I guess like in like a sandwich type situation. But again, as was going on throughout the whole match, every time Bayley looked like she was one step ahead of Bianca, she would reverse it, giving her the KOD onto the ladder, giving her the win. Like I said earlier, I don't think this match needed to be Hell in a Cell given the feud that was written for them. I actually think another match later on in the card kind of deserved it. But for the opener to the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view and for being a Hell in a Cell match, I really do think that it delivered, and I did enjoy both of their antics in the ring. I kind of hope this is the slightly end right now for Bayley and Bianca. I do think Bianca needs maybe someone else. I think she has Bayley, Lashley, and Rhea as well, right? For Backlash. So yeah, I don't want to. Unlike another match, I don't want to keep seeing these two go at it. While they do have good chemistry in the ring, I would like to see some more. Let's give maybe some slightly people who are lower on the card a chance. So it's not just always like Bayley or Sasha eventually when she's come back. I mean, even seeing her against Carmella, I know we saw it on a TV match, but starting to get some of the other women involved in these title match scenes. What do you think about this?
All right, so yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I always say that I love how they showcase Bianca. It's a testament to her too, doing her showcasing what she can do. I really enjoyed the spot where she lifted the staircase and threw it out of the ring, like at Bayley. Hit the cage. Obviously, wasn't gonna hit her, but there was some really good match. Once again, they used the hair, which I thought was stupid. Like, and I hate the hair gimmick. The one part I really liked about it was when she hit Sasha, like whipped it on Sasha at WrestleMania and made that mark. That really showed how like legit it was. But other than that, I'm not really a fan of the whole hair gimmick. I like how she comes out and swings it, but like other than that, like it gets old after she does that. Like, I'm bored of it. And like, yeah, who else can I put though, really, if you think about it, because I don't really know anyone else they could put in the spotlight at the moment on the SmackDown roster, especially because I don't know who's on which roster anyway. So, Bayley, you're right, like, is it always going to be Sasha and Bayley? No, that someone else needs a chance, and like, it's a shame that they let go of a lot of their talents on the female roster as well, because they could have posed a good threat. I think it eventually might end up being the returning Becky Lynch, because I foresee like the Rhea Ripley Charlotte feud going on for a while, so they need someone to feud against Bianca Belair, and it could possibly be, it's hair. The hair is as powerful as a chair and other weapons, but yeah, I could see maybe Becky Lynch maybe doing that. So I don't mind. So Charlotte Logan, yeah, we're talking about the next AfterMat awards we're gonna have, and probably one of the awards we're gonna do is to have like who's most underutilized or underappreciated in that current year. So I think that's what we're gonna talk about and probably take nominees for that. But yeah, this was a good match. I enjoyed it, but it's nothing we haven't seen before between these two. We expected a good match between them, and we got a good match. The backflip off, she did that when she. When Bill to go, they're both on the turnbuckle, and Bianca backflipped off. That was pretty cool. Dude, we gotta get rid of all these B's. You got Bianca Belair, Becky, Bayley, Banks. Like, oh my god, it's just like that's why I probably confuse all the names all the time. But anyway, so it was a good match. I enjoyed it. And like, yeah, I hope that this is it for the feud, but I don't think it's going to be. But because we don't have anyone else in the wings, so we'll see. Yeah, that was good. That move onto the ladder, I believe it was. That was crazy. The kiss of death, they call it, right? The KOD. That was nice too. So it was very well done. A very good match. The next match featured Sheamus. See, there we go. Sheamus and Cesaro. I always mess them up too. Cesaro against Seth Rollins in what you can call a grudge match, I believe. And the match started out with Cesaro coming to the ring and getting blindsided by Seth Rollins. And finally, Cesaro was able to fight back and use his physical bruteness to take hold of the match for quite some time until he was eye gouged by the SmackDown Savior. I think that's his name now. Rollins then kind of worked on like his body as well as his eye. His face kept punching him the same eye that he gouged earlier, and kind of took away from like the power, because he gets a lot of his power from this core. So Seth Rollins kept working on Cesaro's core. But Cesaro was able to put Seth Rollins in the swing. I think that this time it was like 16. You know how I don't like how these people count their numbers. And eventually they turned it into, I was hoping to see another one of those UFOs or helicopter spins, but we didn't get to see that. Cesaro put Seth Rollins in a sharpshooter. Then he went to go kind of like. He started like slamming on his Seth Rollins' arm, and then like kicking him and like doing all this stuff and going for another sharpshooter, I guess. But Seth Rollins rolled it up into a small package and got a 3 count, and it was kind of like why are we gonna keep going on with this? It's kind of like we don't need this, but I kind of want to see Cesaro elevated more, but I guess he's gonna be in limbo again. Like, when we get to the wrap up of the evening, I have a bunch to say about like the night as a whole, but. It's gonna be you're gonna hear me say a bunch of things like just like how Deletion said. I hope they can move on to other women in that match, but I don't know, man. It looks like we're gonna be seeing this a lot over and over. So, your thoughts on this, Deletion?
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure why they pick this feud back up. I guess to give Cesaro and stuff something to do. I don't know, but like we said it last week when they had their match. They work very well together. These are just top tier superstars who know how to work in the ring. Cesaro is forever a legend because of his work that he does in the ring, and he's well respected backstage by the others as well. Like you said, I'm not exactly sure where we're going forward with this. Obviously, this is not over because of the way they ended the match ended with the small roll up or whatever. But I guess it was to give Rollins a win over Cesaro finally. But I don't know. Like, I like them both, but very much like something else in this night. It's starting to get a little stale for me unless they can refresh it somehow.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is like I feel like why are they getting rid of talent when they are getting the same matches over and over? They could have fresh matches with all this other talent, but who knows? I don't write for them because if I did, they'd probably be a lot better. The next match featured Alexa Bliss against Shayna Baszler in a match which made no sense of why it happened because of Lily or whatever was going on. I don't know what the hell's going on with Alexa Bliss. But it started out with Baszler not wanting to attack because she was kind of intimidated by Little Miss Bliss. So I don't know if she could even be called that. But then Bliss got distracted by Reginald, so Shayna came in and started taking control and started just like doing like all her moves on Alexa, who just kept smiling and laughing it off like it doesn't hurt me. Kind of like how the Fiend first was when he first was cool, and then they kind of destroyed him with Goldberg. But that's what it kind of seemed like. She was just like absorbing all the attacks, and then she hit like that DDT that she hits, and also the knee thing that I like that she does, like the flip knee or whatever you call it. Which when she asked for a name, I actually tweeted at her and I said they should call it Dis Knees, like DISKNEES, because she loves Disney. If you know anything about Alexa Bliss, she loves Disney, so I thought Dis Knees would be cool. Anyway, and then she appeared to possess Nia Jax, like when she raised her hand, Nia Jax raised her hand, which caused him to, and then Alexa swung her palm, and that ended up slapping Reginald, and then Baszler, at this time Baszler recovered and went for the Kirifuda clutch. Alexa countered out of it and then hit the modified Sister Abigail, I guess you can call it. Then it twisted Bliss and won. And what is the point of all this? I don't know what she's doing. I thought something cool was gonna happen. I thought this was their last chance to do something cool because now it's gonna be a live audience from here on out, I believe. So this is their last chance to do something cool with what is her character? I don't understand unless they're introducing a new character, surprising everyone with a Lily character who could end up being Lilith or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it was kind of like a letdown. I was really expecting something cool to happen and nothing happened, especially because this was the only fresh match of the night, I guess. So I don't know. Your thoughts, Alicia?
Not enjoy this whatsoever. I've been really off the I guess the twisted Bliss, I guess you can call it, of this character ever since WrestleMania, because she was a component with the Fiend, and her being on her own is, I'm pretty sure that's not what the fans wanted. Once again, WWE has taken something that the fans was very excited about and have drove it into the ground to where we are no longer excited. I don't really know what they're, like you said, don't even know what they're doing this character. Don't know even what her character is. I applaud her for trying to make it work. I also applaud Shayna as well for trying to make this work, but it just falls flat. And I was texting you last night. I think for this whole show, they really are just being lazy and just waiting for the fans to come back, honestly.
Anakin brings up a good point. It might be because Bray is out. That's why she's in limbo. But she kind of like shunned Bray at the WrestleMania, right? Because they kind of like split ways there. So she was saying he was holding her down, unless that was just a thing to give him time off. Who knows? All right. The next match was a brand new match we've never seen before. Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn.
Like, I've never seen Owens and Sami Zayn in the ring together. This was like the first time. #sarcasm. Much like Cesaro and Seth, we get two great workers who, well, know each other not only because of the wrestling, but because this really is like the 20,000th time we've seen them in the ring together. And honestly, there was really nothing new that we could see with these two, because there was no stipulation of this match. It was really just Sami versus Kevin, because Kevin Owens asked for it. So right from the get-go, you see Sami kind of getting the upper hand on Owens, who was feigning an injury from being attacked by Aziz, who's Apollo's commander, with the something death strike or whatever they call it, with the two thumbs that Umaga used to do. Rest in peace. So they were feigning the crushed wood pipes, really can't breathe aspect of the match, which Sami Zayn tried to take control of over and over again, as he would hit him in the throat to get him out of the ring, while almost wrestling, he would do his like little flip dive over the top rope. I don't think it has a name. I mean, an official name for Sami. I don't know what the actual wrestling term was, but just like a little, like almost like senton dive over the top ropes onto Owens. And then Owens would Sami would completely try to get these quick pins onto Owens, but of course, it's always fight Owens fight over there. He would not back down. At one point, they had gone each other to the other side of the ring near the announce team, where it looked like they were going to use the announce team because they both had Pat McAfee and Cole had gotten up. They were expecting them to be over there, but they didn't. I just thought that was funny. But Zayn would go ahead and hit Owens to the knees on the back of Owens, sending him again throat first to the bottom rope, and then pounce with the haluva kick, and that would get him the win. Again, like I said before, much like Seth and Cesaro, when you put these two in the ring, you're gonna get a good match. It's just, I don't know if I needed to see this for the 10th time here. Like, I love them both. I think they're both doing good work. They're both doing as great as they can with the script that's giving to them to do, but we need to move on.
Yeah, I might have to retract what I think I said at the last time they fought. I was like, oh, I can watch these guys fight forever, which I can, because they do put on great matches, but like, how many times do we want to see these matches? We kind of want to see them against new people, right? Don't get me wrong, like you said, they put on great matches, just like you said about Cesaro and Seth Rollins, but, you know, it's just enough is enough. It was a great match. Like, there's nothing much more I could add to what you said. But like, I am getting tired of it, and it was cool seeing Kevin, sell the Tongan spike, whatever they call it, the Nigerian nail. But it was called the Tongan spike when Umaga did it, so that's why I say that. But it was cool. Kevin Owens is probably gonna push eventually now soon too, and so is Sami Zayn. So what are we gonna do? I don't know. But I like seeing them both get elevated as well. These are two people I want to see get elevated. Okay, our next match is for the Raw Women's Championship, featuring the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley against Charlotte Flair.
So I'm pretty sure this is a match that a lot of you are dreading, because nowadays, anytime you inject Charlotte into any type of championship match, you're just like, oh no, it's just another Charlotte Telereign that we're gonna have to face. And it was kind of the Charlotte show for this match, as she kind of had the upper hand on Rhea pretty much for the whole extension of this match. Rhea was playing defense to Charlotte Flair's intensity. I will say that I've been enjoying this revved up heel Charlotte more than her trying to be a babyface. I feel like this is true character for Charlotte. But like I said, it was a Charlotte show until Charlotte tried to go for a a second moonsault off the top rope, but Rhea would counter it and do a suplex off the top rope, to where they were both like laying in the middle of the ring for a little bit, and then I think eventually Rhea did try to go for a pin, but of course by then it was too late. She was playing up a injured leg that Charlotte had kept attacking throughout the match. Excuse me. But I mean, because of that, Flair would go for the figure 8. But Rhea was able to pull herself over to the bottom rope because, you know, they're both pretty tall women, to escape and not have to worry about tapping out. It was here we kind of took a downfall of the match. For Rhea would go, as they have made their way over to near the announce table. I believe Charlotte, I don't know if she was on the announce table or like hovering near it. So Rhea kind of just like flipped the announce table and it kind of like memento-wise hit Charlotte in the face. To where I guess you can make an argument that Rhea wasn't trying to hit Charlotte. She was just trying to, you know, get the announce table ready to do something. But apparently that's also now a DQ. So Rhea gets disqualified, causing Charlotte to win, but Rhea retains her title. And it's, I don't know exactly what type of character Rhea's supposed to be on the Raw roster. Like, I knew who she was in NXT, but here on Raw, I don't know if she's supposed to be a babyface. I don't know if she's supposed to be a tweener, like a babyface with edge to her, because, you know, she's like, you know, give me my title at the end of the match. Give me my title. Tell me what I don't hear, you know, that she's still champion. I will say Charlotte did have a good line when she was like, oh, I guess you're learning now, bitch, or something like that. And I was like, okay, like, Charlotte has an edge to her character, which they've developed. But this Rhea, I feel like they haven't really given her much to do to really make a stake on what type of character she's supposed to be on this roster. And I think that's where her character is falling a little flat for people. And of course, because it's also Charlotte, she's kind of overpowering her opponent. So I don't really know what I want from this feud. It's obviously going to continue. I still don't want Charlotte being champion right now. And now I'm also kind of afraid that they're really just holding Rhea as a title holder until Becky comes back, which looks like it could be pretty soon. Because I'm pretty sure they want that big pop for her with the fans. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the finish. I hated the finish. The match was alright. Like, I think Bianca and Sasha had... Oh my god. Bianca and Bayley had a better match. These two could put on an amazing match. I don't understand why all the title matches were not in a Hell in a Cell. That's first of all. Second of all, this match should have been at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Like, one of the big four. That's what I feel like they should have had it as, which is probably what it's going to end up going to, SummerSlam. And maybe have Rhea finally win cleanly. Because, like I said, Charlotte never loses cleanly in a singles match at a pay-per-view, especially for a title. I think the only time it's happened was against Bayley, right? So, it's not going to happen. She's not going to lose cleanly. Maybe I think Becky might have beaten her, or whatever, whoever else it was. It was like one other person. Whoever's doing the character stuff for it needs to get fired. Like, I don't like what they did with Alexa now. I mean, I love where they're going with Alexa, but how it ended up, the payoff or lack of payoff at the Hell in a Cell, and what they're doing with, like, Rhea Ripley. I do like her character, but, like, it's kind of not it's not like really winning me over. You know, I love Rhea Ripley. It's not winning me over. Yeah, there's cool, like you said, like Charlotte at the end of the match was saying, like, oh yeah, you're learning, kind of like she might be the next Charlotte Flair kind of thing, like they kind of like take her on as a protege or something. But these two women are capable of putting on an amazing match, and I did not see that. Like, you know, it was a good match, but this is like a WrestleMania main event caliber match, kind of like Sasha and Bianca had this past WrestleMania, right? So that's what I plan on seeing. We did have it at WrestleMania, let's not forget that, but it was like for the NXT Championship, recorded, and it was kind of stupid. Like, you know, it was a good match, but it wasn't like in front of a crowd, like feeding off the crowd energy, like a good 35-minute, 40-minute match for like the women's championship. That would have been cooler to see between these two. I know they probably don't want to have it at Hell in a Cell, but they could do it at SummerSlam. So I'm gonna hold off on judging on like where this is gonna go, and like with the characters, because I think Sometimes we always say, oh, well, let's see where it goes, and then they just drop the storyline. But I feel like they can't drop the storyline. So I want to see how this plays out for the next few pay-per-views or whatever, and I can give you my assessment on how Rhea's character developed and what Charlotte's point is. I'm not gonna like Charlotte, but I'm just saying I can see how she plays into this feud. That's what I feel. But this match wasn't that great, like what it could have been. Like, 'cause I was expecting a lot more, and I thought it would be in Hell in a Cell, which it wasn't. So I was already let down right away. Yeah. So Deletion is saying that she feels that this match should have been the Hell in a Cell compared to Bailey and Bianca, but the way that this match ended could be a testament to why they were not in a Hell in a Cell, and the way that the other finish, like I think that Entertain mentioned earlier, with the way that finish happened, is why Bianca and Bailey were in the thing. No, my capture card's not picking up her audio for some reason. Like, it was working prior, and then right when we went live, it stopped working. So I'm just good. That's why I keep taking off my headset. I put it on my mic so you guys can hear her. But she was just giving me a quick interjection. That's why I'm just repeating what she said. I just repeated what she said for you guys because I didn't want to just keep taking it off and on. But yeah, So, and Entertain saying he thought Cesaro and Seth would be match of the night, but I don't think it was. Speaking of match of the night, the next match was for the WWE Championship, featuring the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley against Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. Again, like we were saying, a lot of these matches were repeated, but I think this was probably one of their best matches yet because it was it was ruthless. Like, you could see the marks on their bodies. Lashley had a big mark in the front of his chest. All Drew's back was destroyed, but Drew started out strong, destroying Lashley all around ringside and hitting with the steps and everything. And then I love how he does the overhead belly suplex to Lashley, and Lashley takes it. They both do that perfectly for two big guys. It looks really good. And then Lashley finally got upper hand for a second when MVP put his cane through the cell wall or cell cage, whatever you want to call it, and he got back into the match. And then he started using the steps to he being Bobby Lashley started using the steps to crush Drew McIntyre in between the cage and the steps. He's kind of showing that ruthless aggression in the era that he came up in, so that was kind of cool to see. And then it kind of turned to old school wrestling where Bobby Lashley took out the kendo stick and started hitting Drew McIntyre, which didn't faze him because he was hulking up, and then he caught it, which is a cool spot. He caught it in his arm and then it shocked Bobby Lashley, and but Bobby Lashley then used dirty means again by thumb to the eye, and then Drew McIntyre had a chair in his hand, which was I have to applaud this spot for a referee because referees are normally just someone sneezes out the referee and they're knocked out for 20 minutes. This time, Drew McIntyre ran into the referee with a chair, so it's a big guy being pushed by another big guy with a chair in his hand, running into the referee, knocking him out. That was a good spot for a referee knockout, because that's legitimate. I hate how, when as soon as you put on your referee shirt, your HP and your defense goes down by, 400 points, because that's just so stupid. Now, what if Demon Finn Balor wore a referee shirt? What would happen then? The ring would just explode. I don't know. The world would just, be a whirlpool, and the wrestling would end at that point. Anyway, yeah, so the referee was knocked out. I think Drew McIntyre at that point hits a Claymore, calls the second referee into the ring, but as the 3 count's coming down, MVP, remember the door's left open, so MVP pulls the second referee out of the ring. Then MVP would soon regret this because he was locked in the cage with Drew McIntyre, and he just got destroyed. He got beaten up so badly by Drew McIntyre, thinking that this is the end we'll see of MVP, but we'll get back to that later. But by that point, Lashley recovered and tried to go for the Hurt Lock, but he was then rammed into the table that was set up earlier on the outside of the ring. They both start going back into the ring, and McIntyre kept hitting Lashley with a chair. Then he went for another Claymore, but Bobby Lashley countered it by dodging it, I guess. And he kind of what do you call those things? I can't remember the move, but the name Uranagi, like he did an Uranagi to Bobby Lashley gave Drew McIntyre Uranagi to the outside through another table that was set up earlier, which just looked really good. McIntyre got back into the ring, hit the glass cow kiss, hit a future shock DT, and was ready to deliver another Claymore. But what do we get? We got a tight camera on Drew McIntyre's face. So what does that mean? Something's going to happen, obviously. Either someone's going to come out from the audience, which, if the door is still open, come out from underneath the ring. But what had happened was MVP was on the outside of the ring. He grabbed Drew by the boot long enough to allow Bobby Lashley to just roll him up and get to the 3 count, and that's about it. And that's the last chance apparently Drew McIntyre will have to fight for the WWE Championship again. Well, as long as Bobby Lashley's holding it, I guess, for this reign, maybe, unless he loses it and gets it back, maybe, I don't know. But Money in the Bank is coming up, so keep that in mind. But before I go to Deletion, I just want to mention Big Time mentioned something good in his tweet. I don't think he's here right now, but he mentioned in his tweet saying that he foresees Drew McIntyre winning the Money in the Bank and going over to SmackDown and challenging Roman Reigns, which would be, I guess, something we've seen already as well at SummerSlam, I believe it was, champion versus champion. But, that's kind of okay, I guess. But I'd rather see, like, Kevin Owens or... we already saw Kevin Owens, never mind. Sami Zayn or somebody, who knows? I don't know, let's just see something new, guys. It's a new year of AfterMat. We want to see some new matches, not last year's matches. Alright, I'm going to Deletion. Deletion, what you think?
To be honest, I was not looking forward to this match at all. Again, because this is probably, like, I feel like our 5th, 6th, 10th time seeing these two together for involving the championship. But living up to the namesake, they did get very brutal in warranting a Hell in a Cell match. Because I think this was another match going into, I didn't think needed to be Hell in a Cell. I think I was like, I'd rather switch for Cesaro and Seth, just because they've leading up to it just been very brutal. But like we were saying, they really delivered in this match. I don't know why, but it was just so funny for me seeing the referee lock MVP into the cage, because I don't know if we've seen that before, had we? Where someone who gets involved, the referee's like, "F it, I'm locking you in there with them too." I just thought that was pretty funny. And I am also they made the right decision in keeping Lashley with the belt. I really think that he's been doing well with this, especially him in MVP, and them two right now, I guess, being the only members of the Hurt Business. That I'm really glad we don't have to see them two mix it up again. I really hope they don't do McIntyre wins Money in the Bank and goes back for Lashley as like a loophole. I don't even want to see McIntyre with Money in the Bank suitcase. I really want them to go back to them giving the suitcase to someone who needs a build-up. But it's WWE, who knows what they're going to do. But all in all, I did enjoy the match. And they did the stipulation or Hell in a Cell justice.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone in the chat is saying too, like, yeah, they're kind of tired of it. Kind of like that's what we're gonna get to in our wrap up in a second. But yeah, it was if this was their last match, it did go out with a good, well, not a good finish, but a good match, right? Overall, it's a good match. So, with that said, let's go to Deletion, talk about her low point, her high point, and her overall grade.
I'm gonna go of laziness of writing of characters. Again, none of these matches were new. I don't think any of these matches were, I guess, on a pay-per-view setting, Alexa versus Shayna, I guess, but then that was just such just really bad. So just the rehashing of all the matches, the not really great build-up for a lot of these matches. And honestly, I'm getting tired of them just being lazy. Just because you are trying to hold out for fans does not mean you should be lazy. You just still want to put on a good product. This is your company. You should be proud of the work. You should be able to be proud of the work that you're doing. And unfortunately, they are not showcasing that on their shows. High points, I will give it to the actual Hell in a Cell matches for the pay-per-view's namesake. They did deliver on those two matches. And honestly, because of that, I was going to give this pay-per-view an F because, as you know, I was kind of bored throughout it, even though we were getting good bits out of the matches we were watching, with the exception of Alexa versus Shayna. That's the only one where it was just a dud from start to finish for me. But I really was going to give this an F, but because they delivered on the actual namesake of the pay-per-view, I'm gonna bump it up to a C minus.
All right, I'm pretty similar in the case that my low point was kind of like character development and how they kind of played off the characters and storylines. Like Deletion always says, she loves a good storyline. There was nothing good here. There was nothing good throughout the night, so it was terrible. That's why my low point is the storylines and the character development. The high point, like just like Alicia said, is the Hell in a Cell matches, the namesake of the pay-per-view. Both the Bianca, Belair, and Bayley match and the Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley match were great. I'd love to have seen Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair in the match as well in a Hell in a Cell, but we didn't get that. But those are the high points, I would have to say, the Hell in a Cell matches. Overall, great. So now, I don't want to knock it too much because, I mean, I want to knock this pay-per-view, yes, but I don't want to knock the product, like Deletion was saying, how she's saying, yeah, this might be the last one for the without an audience, so she still delivered a good product. I think this is our first bad pay-per-view we've gotten in a while. I think we've been saying that we've been getting some really great, surprisingly great pay-per-views for the last few months. So this is like that one hiccup. Maybe they're like kind of like getting lazy towards the end, which they shouldn't, but they are getting lazy. This wasn't that good pay-per-view at all. But you know, we were getting spoiled. Maybe we had such a high platform, and now we got knocked down. So maybe I'll give this a C minus as well, D plus. Welcome, Skye Inc. And yeah, first week one of the year. I agree with you. Yep, that's what I was saying. That's what I've been saying. Like this is it. The first one. We've been really spoiled. So if it took to June to get a bad pay-per-view, hey, I can't really be upset about that. That's not that bad. Especially with what we've been dealing with, you know. So let's see a good boost up because Money in the Bank's also. We said, oh, we're gonna get a great pay-per-view because we love Hell in a Cell, and nope, we got just Hell. They forgot in a cell, right? So we just got Hell for this pay-per-view. Now we're gonna get Money in the Bank. So let's hope it's just money. That'd be awesome if it's just money, not Carmella, but like money. You know, like that would be awesome. To have a good match, like a Money in the Bank, because I enjoy Money in the Bank as well. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views as well. Any of those gimmick pay-per-views I usually love, but Money in the Bank is always entertaining to see who's gonna be the next big star, right? Because that's kind of like passing the torch, unless you're someone like Otis or Mr. Anderson or what was Ken Kennedy? What was his name? Ken Anderson? Ken Kennedy? Yeah, Mr. Kennedy? Yeah. Those guys who had to like kind of give away their briefcase because they weren't that popular. Unless you're those guys, whoever gets the Money in the Bank briefcase is usually going to be the next big thing kind of thing, or getting the next push, so that's good to see. But yeah, so overall, like this pay-per-view, like I said, C minus, D plus. It wasn't that good, but like I said, I can't really be that mad because that's true. Bobby Lashley's black. He still got the title. Bianca Belair's black, and she still got the title. So Skye is happy. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, just the way that they kept it, I guess. I don't know. Well, Bianca kept it in a cooler way, I guess. Bobby's was there. But okay, Deletion, where can we find you? And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I did want to clarify. I think also because I still watch, for the most part, fully the Raw and SmackDown shows. Like especially Raw, they've just been really bland. So I guess I also have like that feeling going into the pay-per-views as well, of like being lazy and just waiting for the fans to come back. But yeah, I guess it does make sense that this is kind of like our first like big, like not so great pay-per-view for us too. But you can find me here on the YouTubes at DeliciaRenee TV, and also on Instagram and Twitter at Delicia_Renee, also in the description box below, to where I do a health and wellness lifestyle vlog and healthy videos. It's kind of been on the back track for a little while because we are in the process of moving, so I don't really have a lot of space to film recipe videos, I'm in the middle of trying to edit some vlogs that I've done already to get them up. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me. But as soon as this move is all through, so probably back by the end of the summer, we'll get back into our regularly special weekly programming.
All right. And like she said, all the information in the description below. Thank you, Skye. Good thing I cut my own hair this past weekend. It came out decent, but because I had unfortunately for technical difficulties, I was able to take off my headset so that we could hear Deletion. Next time I'll just like reset my computer right before we go live. Like I'll do all my tests, and despite me doing all my tests, I will still reset the computer prior to going live because for some reason OBS wants to act like this. I don't know why. But yeah. As for me, I just streamed, let me see if I can say it right again, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate Intermission, the Yuffie DLC. I just finished streaming that last week. I did about four episodes, so 4 parts. The next game I'm streaming, I don't know yet. Like I said, I always say it's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West or whatever, but we don't know yet, because if another game comes out prior to that I really enjoy, I'll be streaming that. But until then, I don't have really streaming plans until there's a game I want to play. But AfterMat, you can always catch us here. The next time you'll see us is for Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is going to be on July 18th. So you'll see us the following Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on July 19th. So until then, guys, keep slamming the haters and be the champion of your dreams, and we'll see you next time.